This is ANTIC The ATari podcast.
Hello and welcome to ANTIC the 8-Bit Atari podcast, or is that the Atari 8-Bit podcast? Well, whichever. It's episode 124. And I'm your host today. I'm Brad, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Randy.
Hello, everyone.
And Kay. And Kay.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Anyway, let's just move on. So speaking of Kay, what you been up to?
I have been busy. I have done all the things. Let's see. First of all, every year, at the end of every year, beginning of every year, end of every year, I write a document that wraps up summary of all the Atari and other computer historical archiving, interviews, and digitization that I have done. I call it my wrapped document, and I post it on my Patreon. And I just wrote my 2025 wrapped document, which is online and available for anyone to read. It's I kind of like said it in when I wrote this piece. It was like 1,200 words, and I was just like, when I am doing it every day, I'm just like, oh, I digitized that, great, upload it to archive, or you mentioned it on the podcast, and move on to the next thing. And it's really helpful to me at the end of every year to like take a look and see like what actually did I get done this year, and it was like surprisingly a lot. I was like, because I knew starting this thing, I only did 3 interviews in 2025, and I feel bad about that. But I did so much other stuff. Anyway, so and things that I literally had forgotten about because I had done them, in March or something. I was like, oh yeah, that thing. So I kind of reviewed everything I did, and I about the stuff I digitized and the interviews that I did publish and the software that I got online, and I welcome people to go read that. And I here's the straight into the beggy ad portion of the podcast. I don't mention it too often, but I do have this Patreon, and I am asking people to support it. It helps support the hosting fees for this podcast and many of the other things that we need to pay for to get these things done for the podcast, and just my other related activities, including the Zoom, paying for the Zoom, so we can have these conversations, and paying for my whitepages.com subscription so I can find people to talk to, and paying for my newspapers.com subscription for doing research, and other things. It is a hobby, but it is not inexpensive, and I appreciate people's support. And so patreon.com/Savitz, I think. So I did my wrapped document, and that was satisfying. I also did my annual posting of older articles, things that I write for Juiced GS magazine and elsewhere, and I put them in an archive, and I license them under Creative Commons and make them available for other people's newsletters and websites and things. I created a new collection actually called Savitz_articles at archive, and you can see all the articles that I've posted there over the years. Mostly this is for when I write something for Juice.gs, which is the Apple II magazine. My agreement with them is they have it for a year, and then I can do what I want with it. So basically, at the end of 2025, I posted all of the articles that I had written for Juiced in 2024, and there's a couple there that I'm particularly proud of, which are now free to read. One called what's it called? Reverend Apple, which is about this guy named Ron Janesh, who in the 80s, he got one of those Universal Life Church certificates. So he was, a reverend, and he used his Apple II to marry people. And he got all sorts of press about it, about how you could get married by a computer. And not an Atari, but an Apple II. I would have used an Atari to marry people. I think Atari is the computer of love. But
Never heard it called that.
it's
Okay.
that's the name of the episode now, Computer of Love.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I interviewed him, and he gave a great interview, and I did this article called "What's Your Love Language," and that's a fun read. And I did an article about the hardware that did the graphics on the game show the old game show Tic Tac Doe, hosted by Wink Martindale. That was those graphics were run by 9 Apple II computers, and so I researched that and did an article about that. So I did that, and then as I was looking at my old files on my computer, I found a couple. I found a couple that I had written for. One that I written for Proc magazine. Remember Proc magazine? RIP.
I do.
So I had written an article, and I'm not sure they actually published. I don't know. Called "Finding Randy," and it was about the process I went through for finding Randy Glover. Not you, Randy Kindig.
I thought it was about me. Gosh. I'm disappointed.
So I wrote this in 2016, and just a little article about Jumpman and what it took, just a fun little article about what it took to find Randy. And then I also found an article that I had written, I think also for Proc, called the Making of ANTIC, which was the story about how this podcast got created, and how we've basically found each other on Twitter. And I wrote this for 2014, and I think that, let's see, that I wrote it for Proc as well. I'm pretty sure they published it. So anyway, so that's online now, and there's a lovely picture of the three of us at Vintage Computer Festival together, and
probably the one from Southeast, right?
Yeah, Southeast, yeah, in 2014. Yeah. Anyway, so I got published, put those on Internet Archive. That's kind of my end of year cleanup, the articles, the Patreon post, and all that.
Do you, Kay? I thought in the past you normally set goals as well for the next year. I mean, have you gone through that process?
Yeah, I do that as part of my little letter. Traditionally, my goal has been, I'm going to do, X interviews in the next year, and I feel like at this point I'm not going to do interviews. I actually have a bunch that need to be edited, and I have some I want to do. But my goal this year is not interview based. I have a bunch of projects started or kind of on the bubble that I want to get done, including to finish up the disk fluxing of the hybrid. I have a new batch of hybrid arts discs that I got from Robert Moore. I need to get those digitized into the Atari 8 preservation community. I have a huge pile of the discs from Robert Leyland, which is the source code for Murder on the Zindernoof and graphics Atari artist. And I created a little team of folks who are going through those discs, and I have not done my part to keep that momentum going. So we need to get those hundreds of Robert Leyland discs processed. I still behind me have a huge pile of papers from the estate of Harry Stewart that I need to finish digitizing. I've gotten some of those online, but it's a lot of papers. So I want to get those projects done this year. Those are my goals, and also do some interviews. So More than three. I'm doing more than three interviews. That's my that's my goal. So
Okay, awesome.
so yeah, all this helps me assess, helps me keep motivated, helps me to know where I am,
Sure.
and so it's less like shouting into the wind. I mean, I'll do it. I don't know. Sometimes I do an interview or put information online, and it just goes out there. That's it. You don't always hear back from people, or if you do, it takes weeks or months, to hear anything back.
It can, right?
And so this kind of makes it a little more solid for me. Have you guys heard? I learned. This is my continuing things I've been up to. I learned about the Interim Computer Museum. Do you know about the Interim Computer Museum?
I've heard about it because I think they've had shows there before, and I know we've mentioned it, but I don't know much about the museum itself.
No.
So okay, so there's a group that's been around forever, like more than 30 years, I think, called the SDF Public Access Unix System. They've been around for, I mean, I have a sticker on my computer saying 25 years. I guess they were founded in 1987. And this sticker says they were 25 years old, and I got the sticker in 2012, apparently. So I guess they're about 35 years old. Anyway, so there's this group, and they're a nonprofit. They've been around forever. They uh, took possession of a lot of the material from the Living Computer Museum when that went away. They recently took possession of, as I understand it, most of the software collection of the Living Computer Museum and some of the hardware. So they created the Interim Computer Museum, which is their it's a museum in the Washington area that's not open full time, but you can get in there, by making an appointment or going there on Saturdays or something. And they are preserving I think they're trying to do right what the Living Computer Museum, Paul Allen's terrible planning. They're trying to continue make this, that a success, and archive this stuff and make it available online and that sort of thing. Anyway, so ICM.museum is the website. You can go and learn about the project. It's not a great website. They're clearly working on it. I joined their thing. I decided to I joined a sponsorship and sending them $36 a quarter to do this. And there's a newsletter. And I don't know. I just think that I felt like I was and am so angry at the lack of planning and foresight that Paul Allen had in the Living Computer Museum. I loved the Living Computer Museum. And then Paul Allen went and died, and all that's there was no money set aside to keep it running, and now it's gone. And now the ICM has taken over some of that material, and I am giving them some money just because I can, and because maybe they can do it with their scrappy little nonprofit what Paul Allen and his billions couldn't manage to do. Basically, I'm giving them money because I'm mad at Paul Allen.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think one of their guys was at our last month's meeting. I think he was in town to visit with Lonnie.
Uh-huh.
And because Lonnie bought, as I understand, Lonnie bought a chunk of the hardware from Living Computer Museum, and it's now here in Atlanta. But one of their guys came down and was, as I understand, visiting with Lonnie, and so he came over for our monthly meeting in December.
Nice.
And sitting here, obviously, since I hadn't really thought about it, I can't remember the guy's name. So
you didn't know there was going to be a pop quiz.
Yeah. And, but anyway, it was so yeah, they're getting out and about and trying to do stuff. So that's that's good.
Anyway, I encourage people to at least check out icm.museum. They also have an events page of vintage computing events, and it's another resource that we can check when we're doing our events list every
It didn't look to
episode.
be very complete or very detailed at
No,
all.
I think it's
So
things in the Pacific Northwest. It's a West Coast thing
yeah,
for sure. But I did notice that they are planning a Vintage Computer Festival Northwest, which I don't think has happened since 2019 or 2020 or something. And that'll be in Washington. So anyway, I'm going to try to make up to that, but we'll talk about that later. Switching topics to the Big D drive. I mentioned last episode, maybe, that I had an Astra Big D drive, which is a pretty rare disk drive. It's a tall unit with two drives in it, and both of those drives are double-sided, double density. And I got this from Robert Moore of Hybrid Arts when he let me raid his garage, and he gave it to me. And I believe I mentioned an episode or two ago that I plugged it in. It worked for 10 seconds, and then it stopped working. And it's not just that I would like this drive to be working, but I have several disks from Hybrid Arts BBS that I can only read with this drive. And because they are double-sided, double-density disks, and they're from the BBS. And
you don't have any other double-sided double-density
no,
drives, or it's
I don't know. I have had Percoms. I think I gave them to Tom Cherry Holmes. I had two Atari
XF 551s.
551s. Neither of them worked. I gave those away to Paul Westfall.
Oh, that's funny. Wait till I get to my segment.
Well, okay. So anyway, I went to, so this drive wasn't working. I don't know how to fix it. So I went to Paul Westfall, who is, he has a little business called 8-Bit Fix, where he fixes computers. And he used to not fix floppy drives. He didn't like them. He didn't know how to do it. He was not interested. And then he has since sort of changed. And now he does floppy drives, I think reluctantly. but I brought him the big D drive, and I begged him to see if he could get it working. And as payment, I brought him those XF 551s that are broken. He could, fix them and sell them and whatever. I brought him some Atari 8-bit and ST machines that I had sitting around that I didn't need. So I'd be like, here, have a bunch of projects and also fix my thing.
Was this real recent?
What?
Was this real recent that you gave him this stuff?
Within since we last had a.
Oh, okay.
In the last couple of months, yeah.
Okay.
I think I brought him this stuff maybe 2 months ago, but I didn't mention it last time because there was no news yet. He still had it. Anyway, he replaced the capacitors in the Big D drive, and it works great. He recapped the thing. He recapped it. I brought it home. It worked. It fired right up. And I was able to read the Hybrid Arts BBS discs, most of them. There was 8 discs. I could read 7 of them. One of them seems like it genuinely just went bad. So I have that data. I haven't actually looked at the data yet. I haven't started digging through it. I haven't posted it, but I have it. And I'm so grateful to Paul for fixing that machine. And I'm grateful to those discs for surviving 35 or 40 years. And so, yeah, we have some stuff from the Hybrid Arts BBS that I'll get to dig into as well. So now I'm curious about your thing. Do you want to talk about your thing now, or do you want to wait?
No, I'll wait. You're probably okay. You're cool. You're close to being done.
I'm close to being done. And so I know I've been talking for a long time. Hello, my cat is here. The last thing I did, I've spent quite a bit of time playing with Fujisan. As you longtime listeners will know, Fujisan is a relatively new Atari 8-bit emulator for the Macintosh. It endeavors to be a little more modern than
It actually will run on all the platforms.
Does it?
There's a Windows and Unix version. Yeah, there
Really?
is.
All right. I don't want to argue with you, but I think he decided to be Atari only, but I mean to Mac only, but I might be completely wrong. I'll try to look it up when I'm not talking.
And he is Paulo Garcia.
Paulo,
right?
Yeah, yes, Paulo is the guy, and so he's trying to one of the things that Fujisan does that I love is that it has FujiNet built in. So you can launch the thing and start using an emulated FujiNet on your emulated Atari. And I love the idea of this because it means that I can potentially program some FujiNet software sitting on my couch, don't have to be in front of a real machine, don't have to be using a weird Windows emulator on my Mac. Yeah, I think it would make me happy to be able to do this. And so Fujisan is still in beta. I've been testing it, and I had some problems with it. And I've been talking to Paulo in the GitHub issues tracker and figuring some things out. So I'm going to tell you this: the problem, a couple of weird problems. I couldn't get the FujiNet to work. It was clearly. It thought it was working, but I couldn't get it to work. And Paulo was just like, well, go to this setting, change this setting, and change this setting. And so I went into the settings pane, the preferences pane. I changed the setting, and then now what do I do? So I closed the preferences pane, and nothing changed. It didn't work. I was going around and around. And it was very frustrating. The problem was this: Paulo develops on a big monitor. He said he has a 30-something inch monitor, and I'm playing it on my little laptop screen. And in the preferences pane, the OK button that you hit to save your thing was hidden behind the toolbar on my Mac. It was such a tall window that I didn't. So when I was done, I thought, oh, well, you have to close the window when you're done. No, you're supposed to click OK, which I couldn't see OK. So it was the weirdest. It was not what the bug that anybody was expecting. He's thinking something's wrong with the FujiNet integration. It wasn't exactly my fault, but a little bit my fault.
So we've had a lot of the same experiences.
Okay. I can't wait to
because
hear
I've been testing this a lot as well. One of the first things I ran into is I run in the what's with the white on black mode? What's that called? The dark mode. So I run my system in the dark mode, and I couldn't see anything on the preferences screen at all for a while. And so he had to make some changes to make that work. And then did you get the FujiNet to work well then for you?
But yes, I did. I got the FujiNet to work once I figured out that problem. It worked great. And then I was just like, what? Then I had a new learning curve with FujiNet because I haven't used it in a while and I've kind of forgotten some things, and I couldn't open up a file on the I was trying to just open up a web page in BASIC, and it wasn't working, and I had forgotten that you have to load the FujiNet drivers, which is called NOS, Network Operating System. I wasn't using a NOS disk. Okay, that's on me. I had forgotten that. And then I'm using Tom Cherryholm's excellent manual about how to use FujiNet as my reference. There was actually a problem in the manual where it said "0" when it should have said "2," so that was never going to work. But I went on to the Discord, and Tom straightened me out. And then so I'm just I'm going to use Fast Basic, which doesn't need NOS for some reason. So I'm dabbling with Fast Basic, and I wrote a little program, and I saved it. Great. I rebooted the computer. I went to load the program. Can't load the program in Fast Basic by typing Control L. You know why? Control L doesn't work in Fujisan.
No.
You can't type the character. So another bug, reported another bug to follow. So it was a frustrating learning experience, and some of it was definitely me, and some of it was testing beta software, and some of it was just whatever. So ultimately, I figured out a lot of it. I got it working. I had spent some time in the FujiNet lobby playing games. There's a new Battleship game I played. I played some Fuji Z, the Yahtzee game. I was never there when there was actual humans to play with. So I played against the AI, and anyway, I had fun playing the games. And anyway,
Yeah.
so anyway, that's I'm sorry, I've been talking forever, but that's what I that's what I'm up to.
Yeah, I've been playing with it as well quite a bit. I like the fact that you can just, instead of having to start FujiNet PC separately, you can just hit the button, within Fujisan and start it right up. So it just saves you a little effort. And
Yeah.
and when you install Fujisan, it will go ahead and install FujiNet PC so that it can invoke it for you, so you don't have to install it separately as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so that's all. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
He's
and
doing some good stuff there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, that's me. So tell me about your experiences with Fujisan and everything else, and
Well,
XF5.
and I wonder the profile setting you were talking about with FujiNet. So I had some problems once I started using the FujiNet. It turns out that it defaulted to a higher than 1x speed for your CPU,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a problem. I had to go into the settings and change it to 1x, and then the FujiNet worked okay. But FujiNet is I don't know about you, but it runs a little slow for me. I don't know. It will time out at times. It just runs extremely slow when I'm running it through Fujisan. And I don't have that problem if I do FujiNet PC separately.
I don't think I've noticed that. I mean, I don't.
You haven't noticed that problem?
It seems pretty okay. Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, I really like what Paolo is doing, with that. And he has an interface for it so that you could use something like the Microsoft, what's it called? Their text editor, the code, VS Code.
Mm-hmm.
You could use VS Code and send it over to Fujisan, and then have it create a disk and then invoke your emulator. So
I might get there. I'm not there yet. I'm still getting my my sea legs back with the Fujisan and the FujiNet. So
yeah,
yeah.
It's good though. I like what he's doing there.
Yeah.
Is it all right if I go ahead and start, Brad?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to get to the drive discussion. So I found it a little funny to hear your story, Kay, because I picked up an XF 551 just in the last couple of weeks from Mr. Paul Westfall at 8-Bit Fix.
We'll have to find out if it's one of the drives I gave him.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if it's one of the drives that you gave him, because he said he had to spend quite a bit of time fixing it up to get it to work. The last time he sold an XF 551 on AtariAge, I missed out, and he had a real good price on it. And I told him if he ever had one again, let me know. And lo and behold, just before Christmas, he says, "Hey, I've got one. I've got it fixed up. It works now." He had to do quite a bit of work, I guess. He spent hours getting it to work. And he sold it to me for a very, very reasonable price.
Nice.
So I've always wanted a 551. Mm-hmm. And so I got it from him. And I'll bet it's one of the drives that you originally gave him.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
I gave one away, 2 months ago?
Did you?
Yeah, someone gave me one. And Brent Carroll was at the meeting and helped me with some stuff, so I gave it to him. However, comma in this one though is it was basically a box of parts.
Oh,
and,
okay.
They had taken it apart for some reason, and so I guess it's going to be one of Brent's future projects, is to put it back together. And
Okay.
for
Well, I wanted one that worked. I don't want.
yeah. Yeah, that's one reason why I gave it to Brent. It's like I'm not collecting for collecting's sake. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
you see if you can fix it.
it's nice to have a double-sided double density drive, like that. I always wanted one that matched the XE style. So I spent a lot of time testing that. It's the first time I ever used DOS XE. I don't know if you guys have ever played with DOS XE, but I knew it supported double density, double-sided. So I found a copy of it and played with it. It's somewhat different than DOS 2.5 and that ilk, but I could not get it to format a double-sided double density disk. However, I got it to format double density, but not double-sided double density. I only have a few disks. I don't know if my disks are bad or whether there's an issue with doing the double-sided on the XF551. So, and the other thing is, if 551 is supposed to be a quiet drive, it's supposed to be quieter than like the 1050, and this one clicks. And he told me that before I bought it, and he had a video of it working. But it works. It works great. It makes a lot of clicking sound when it's reading a disk.
Paul seems to love a quiet drive. I was in his workshop, and he was just like, and I'm picking up this drive. It's the quietest drive I've ever used. Listen to this thing, and it's just like, no, it's just like, oh, I love it. It's just, yeah, he's obsessed with drive quietness, which is, I mean, it's fine. I don't mind. I kind of like knowing they're working. So
yeah, it's not supposed to be that noisy though. I don't know why it does it, but again, it seems to work fine. The RPMs is spot on. Is right at 300 RPMs. So I don't know. It works, and it's great to have one. And I appreciate Paul letting me know about it and giving me a good deal on that drive. So, and Kay, for you getting that to him in the first place, probably. I assume it is.
Yes,
anyway.
or restoring his stocks for future. I don't know, but
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's great.
The other thing Atari related is. I don't know if I mentioned that on here before, but I do another podcast called the Stan Veit podcast. Stan had one of their very early computer stores back in the day, and he wrote a book that is very popular and very well known.
I love his book, Stan Veit's History of the Personal Computer. It's a nice book.
Exactly. Yeah. David Grue and I have been reading the book. We were doing just audio for some time, and then recently we started doing a video as a version of it as well. So chapter 13 was the Atari story, and we just recently did that and published that. So it was interesting to hear Stan Veit's take on the Atari story.
Did you find it to be accurate based on your knowledge?
It seemed to be.
Yeah.
It seemed to be. The funny thing about it is the book was written in the mid to late 80s. Mm-hmm. So, his perspective, things were still ongoing, I guess, with Atari pretty much at that point. And it's not as if it were written in, 2026. So, but it's good. It's an excellent book, and I really enjoy it.
Nice.
The other thing, it's not really Atari, but I'm going to bring it back to an Atari perspective, is I got the Commodore 64 Ultimate, the remake from the new Commodore.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, really nice. It's got all the legacy ports on it. It looks exactly, I got the beige version, so it looks exactly like the Commodore 64, but with, new case, new keyboard. It's got the legacy ports on it, so you can run all the legacy hardware, but it's got new ports on it. So you have VGA out and you have USB on it.
It does cartridges and everything?
It does cartridges. Wow. And it's very, very, very compatible. It's really nicely done. and I even did an unboxing video on it, which was kind of fun. But that's the sort of thing I really would like to see, an Atari version of a machine like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all hoping that's what that um,
The RM,
yeah, the
RM
RM
800
800
XL.
XL,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
is going to
that's a
be.
pipe dream.
But I'm hoping someday we'll get an Atari version of what the Commodore 64 Ultimate is. Very well done. And the only other thing I want to mention, we had our Indy Vintage Computer Club meeting yesterday. I had a couple of 810s that were non-working that I had gotten from an estate sale, and I gave them to a person in the club with the stipulation that he would try to get those working. So he brought those to the meeting yesterday, and the club spent time trying to get those 810s working. Turned out the motor was bad in one of them, so they took the motor out of one and put it into the other one. And I think they got it pretty well working yesterday. So another 810 drive back in circulation.
Excellent.
The other one, one of our other that's basically an Atari guy in the club, has an 820 printer that has a broken case on it. So he asked to have the one the motor got taken out of, and he's going to take the case and refurbish his 820 and get that all working. So that was kind of cool, kind of see some of that hardware actually get repurposed and reused.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's it for me. How about you, Bradley?
Oh, well, I don't know how I managed it, but I've done even less than usual this month.
Less than usual. Is it possible? I think, Brad, I was thinking about this. Doing less than usual. Is it possible that you could do so little that you could underflow and do everything?
I did once, but it crashed, and I have no. There was a memory, and just it was gone.
Oh,
No memory, memory clearance. But, so, but it's possible.
should try it.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll see. But anyway, if you were looking at the video, you can get a clue on what I've been doing this month. And I've had some eye issues and had emergency eye surgery on New Year's Eve. So
Happy New Year.
When you came on, we recently had a show that had something to do with pirates, right, in the title. I thought maybe you were just trying to follow up on that with the pirate batch.
I wish. And but no, it's I'm recovering from eye surgery, so I have one eye. So it just and when you recover from a major surgery, it just takes everything out of you. But
Yeah.
I did I did inventory my Atari magazines. Ooh,
Ooh, what'd you find?
and that I have a whole bunch of antics, and
Great.
and I thought I actually had a full set of compute magazines, but I don't. I have.
It's hard to get some of the real early ones, like the
I
first
have some of
issues.
the real early ones, but
Oh, do you?
it just I I thought I had more than I did. Either I've got another box floating around, or I just misremembered. I've got a bunch of them, but um, uh, and I found I had a dozen issues of what is it? This Santa Clara Computer Club newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've got to check and see if I have any of the missing ones. Odds are I've just got the bog standard ones, but I'll see if I can get around to check, and who knows, maybe I can.
Please do. I can borrow them and scan them or whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, I've got I bought me so I could scan photos I bought a flatbed scanner, but it's a
Mhm.
single page because I wanted to
Yeah.
scan large photos. Uh, but it does, it's a really high quality scanner, just not a fast document scanner. So
Yeah.
I could get them done, but we'd end up with, you know, a page per file or file per page. There we go.
Right. Well, that's fixable, but
Yeah. So,
With the right software, you can
yeah,
combine
that's
them.
that's easy to fix.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I'm using the built-in stuff, so it's
Yeah.
just, but yeah, that's a good point. So, and if I do find one, okay, I'll let you know and we'll work something out.
Beautiful.
But it's been a quiet Atari month for me. I had something else and it just went away. So, it's also uh, Dane Bramage. So, anyway, so let's see. Do we have anything to discuss before we go to the news?
No.
Nope.
I
All
don't
right, we'll
think so.
skip all that and go to the news. And the first news segment we have is on the new and updated games. And Randy has got the first one.
Yes, I came across this article on Facebook. For those of you that still peruse Facebook,
Oh,
from Philippe Lafortune. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly or not, but he had a whole big post about this Ultimate Atari Games database that he is building. It is built around Airtable. If you guys are familiar with Airtable,
Never heard of it.
online database.
I honestly thought that was a system for making reservations at restaurants.
No,
What is Airtable?
And I was thinking it
it's an
was for
online database.
hockey, air hockey.
It's basically an online database tool, so you can build any sort of databases through it. So he's building an Atari 8-bit games database with it, and right now the database contains 750 or more Atari 8-bit computer games, and he's got 4 specific personas that he is targeting, so that he could determine, what information that he wanted to capture about each game. Um, there's a lot of different fields, a lot of different information being captured about each game in order to support those personas. For instance, historian persona, he's got some fields in there that would support those that are interested in the history of a particular game and so on. But he's got some grandiose ideas here about potentially you could power a printed book volume or a proper reference website, a long-term archive for collectors, historians, and Atari fans. And he's asking that if you don't have an Airtable account, you can create a free account. But by using his link, it gives him some credits so that he can utilize Airtable and reduce his cost. So it sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like a cool project.
Interesting. Neat. Well, I don't know. All I could say is I would encourage him to know what other projects are going on and not duplicate effort that's things they've already done. For instance, a8preservation.com and other, just great. Do it. But don't waste your time.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about this is because it's built on top of Airtable, which is an online database,
Hmm.
you can really use it to power, anything else that you want that needs that data,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it could just pull it right out.
Nice.
I don't know if the other archives are built that way or not. Okay, maybe they are.
I don't know. Okay, we have Randy found a bunch of different games that we're going to quickly go through. Atari Party Panic version 1.2. Andy Diller released an update to the small Infocom style adventure that he's started and released last year called Atari Party Panic. This release fixes all bugs. Okay, Andy, do we ever want to say it fixes all bugs?
All bugs.
All bugs. This release fixes all bugs and makes it playable. A simple, quick game you can finish in 10 or 20 minutes. A little cute interactive text adventure that catapults a low-key Atari computer enthusiast meetup into an unexpected mystery. Atari Party Panic. Nice. Next.
Okay. The next one is Carcer from H4 Pillow. And I guess these are petroleum lubricants. Anyway, so it's a multi-platform game. And I guess his name is actually Haplo or whatever. But anyway, Carcer is your goal is to escape the dungeons. But each step you take, you have to drop a coin behind you. And it says you can't move. You can't move with 0 coins. You have to, but you can go back and pick up the coins you've dropped. So it's a puzzle, a light puzzle game for escaping the dungeons, and it's 32 levels. They get progressively harder, and it looks, the graphics are simple, straightforward. But then, hey, that's what you really want in a puzzle game like this, and it looks very interesting. So check out Carcer.
The next one is one called Overflow Santa. I know we're past the Christmas season now, but it was a new Christmas game put out from the AWA team. And Kay, I know you've interviewed these guys, so maybe you can pronounce their names.
I pronounce their names AWA. Yeah.
AWA.
It's the two brothers and the friend, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So it actually was a game published in the July 85 issue of ANTIC and then redone recently. It's one of the 14 games that the AWA anthology sold in the AtariAge store. And this is an updated version with the Christmas theme. And you play as Santa Claus as he uses snowballs to prevent Christmas toys from spilling off the conveyor belts. Sounds like fun.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So this one, I'm a little confused and intrigued on this one. Atari Orbit published a blog post about Killzone, the first real-time multiplayer game using Fujinet. Fujinet gaming system has allowed the first multiplayer, multi-platform gaming applications to blossom. Killzone is my addition to the pantheon. I wanted to provide a basic, simple, using character graphics, proof of concept application for real-time action gaming. Currently only Atari supported. Coco is in progress, and he goes on and on in very detailed about how it works technically to get the data there in time. I could not find a link. I looked on GitHub. I could not find this game. I can't find a download. Apparently it's up to version 1.2, and I don't know how to actually try this game. But I'm intrigued, and I don't know.
Where is it, Andy? Where is it?
Yeah, Andy Diller, where is it?
Right.
Yes. So anyway, that is intriguing, and I want to know more about that, Andy.
Okay. Street Fighter 2 for the Atari 8-bits has been released. It's in cartridge and digital form. There's a usually long thread over at AtariAge, like 25 pages of thread on this. But hey, it's a released game. You can get it, um, and it looks good. It looks good. If you want to
It
play
does look
Street
good.
Fighter on your Atari 8-bit, it it holds up.
It says it's based on the Game Boy version, requires the 4 megabyte cartridge and the standard XEXL with 64K. Works NTSC or PAL.
Yep.
A
And
lot of excitement about this release. It seemed like online.
Neat.
Okay, and we had an update from Tom Cherryholmes about pole position. He has modified the race designer for pole position so that it can save its tracks across the internet over Fujinet or on Fujinet, and so that you can share and play your design tracks on pole position. Very cool. Tom's always done some cool stuff
That's
like
neat.
this.
Huh. That's fun. Wonder if two people
Yeah.
try to modify tracks at the same time, if there would be a race condition.
Good question.
um, I guess next one's you. Sorry.
So finally, under the new and updated games, we've got the final version of the Atari 8-bit 5200 homebrewed games that were released, completed, or work in progress in 2025. So it's a pretty long, impressive list of games that had work done on them in 2025. It's amazing to see how much work is going on in that area. It includes those that got physical releases completed or had some work done on them in 2025. So check it out.
all right. Okay, so moving from games to boring software.
Boo, boring software.
Boring software. All right. That's not true because some of it is quite interesting. And then, well, hey, there's something about the New Year's Disc 2026. Tell us about that, Randy.
Yeah, so it's a disc that's been put out for several years. Once a year in January, basically, a disc is created with some demos that had been created the previous year. And so a 2026 New Year's disc has been created. And among the intros and tunes is the conversion of 3D Monster Maze, a famous 1981 game for the Sinclair ZX81. But yeah, there's some good stuff on there. I did check out this disc and go check it out.
And I guess you could load that up into your new Altera, Randy.
Hey, good. Why don't you go ahead and take that, Brad?
It's Altera 4.4 has been released, and I have to be careful speaking because some automated entity just thought I was talking about her. And and I can't say the name because that will activate her again. So if it's, you can probably figure it out. Anyway, the Feyron released version 4.40, and it's accuracy improvements in ANTIC and Pokey. Well, we don't need accuracy improvements. We're totally accurate.
100%.
New devices were added, including the pill, black box floppy board, Speedy XF CSS multiplexer and the XM301, plus fixes for XBXE, VBXE, the 850, and some modems. Display updates.
One of the things nice about Altera is all the devices it supports.
Oh yeah.
I mean, anything that's ever been created for the Atari it supports.
Yep.
Seems like.
And he's improved display and direct 3D support. Input updates for paddle noise. Okay. Is that less paddle noise or more paddle noise?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess. And debugger improvements, recording support for audio, and so quite a couple items there. So hey, I'll have to get the latest version. All right, Randy. What is this?
So I did some searching just to make sure that we've never ever talked about this software, and I can't imagine how it ever escaped our radar. It's called ASAP, another slight Atari player. I could not find that we had ever talked about it. It is an Atari 8-bit computer's tunes player for modern computers and mobile devices. So there's a new version of it that just came out. It says the software emulates the Poki sound chip and the 6502 processor to allow you to play the Atari 8-bit chip tunes on modern computers and mobile devices. It's free software, and you can get it for Android, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, or even run it in a web browser. So there is an archive with Atari SAP music that you can play using this player with over 8,000 songs and over 200 hours of total playback time. That's a lot of Atari chiptunes.
Nice.
Sorry,
No,
I was sitting there thinking about getting that set up so I could listen to the chiptunes. I got so wrapped up in
you
your
should do that. Get some big speakers, and you can rock out.
Yeah, and
Neat.
I like putting chiptunes and stuff like that on while background music while I'm working, and there's no lyrics to be distracting. So anyway, all right. Publications. We've got a couple to talk about, and so Randy, the new Computes Gazette.
Oh, it's got
a picture.
It's got Burger Becky right there on the cover.
It does. It does. So this is a December issue, and for those of you that are watching, you might guess I'm holding it up, and there is an article in here.
It's an article. It's got our logo. Did you write that article, or did someone else write that article?
Brian Cox has a regular column in this magazine called Podcast Corner, and he decided for December to write about the ANTIC podcast, one of his favorite podcasts. So
nice.
We really appreciate Brian writing this up and telling everybody about ANTIC. I haven't looked, but I bet we've gotten some additional hits, some additional downloads as a result of this. I mean, I think the circulation for this magazine is fairly high at this point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we haven't gotten some bumps. But yeah, pretty cool. Of course, I've mentioned before, there's lots of other regular articles. There is an Atari Outpost column in there with Jerry White and some other Atari-based ones. There's always plenty of Atari coverage in that magazine, so it's definitely worth checking out. And it's a beautiful magazine. So I don't get anything for pushing this magazine, but it is a good magazine. I like it.
Nice. AtariProjects.org, back on the job. It was quiet there for a while, but we are graced by Jason. Jason Moore has graced us with some new article topics, including connect your Atari 8-bit computer to a live bulletin board system. Explore the Atari Basics website and sign up for the Atari Insights newsletter. Explore the Atari Protos website to learn about unreleased or rare software and games for Atari 8-bit. And play poker with your friends using FujiNet on an Atari 8-bit computer. Those are all articles posted in the last month or two. And yay, I always enjoy seeing that stuff show up on my RSS feed. So,
And Jason does a really good job with these articles, and makes it really easy for you to participate and run through it. So excellent.
right.
Well, he mentioned the Atari Insights newsletter. The January issue has come out, and there is a YouTube channel, by the way, as well. John produces some videos once in a while. So in this issue, he did an Atari-based weather station, or he's got a series of articles he's going to do about writing software to build an Atari-based weather station. And he would like you to follow along. He's got a new series on the Atari 400 Mini, and talks about OSS Basic XL, or there's article about Basic XL, an action article, and a joystick workshop that lets your Atari interact with the real world. So some nice articles in there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to follow along with his weather station. My home weather station crapped out recently. So, maybe instead of buying a new one, I can build one. We'll see.
There you go.
Fun.
Perfect.
Yeah, that looks like a fun topic. Look forward to following that around. Following that as he does it, I mean.
Okay. Let's see. Updated hardware, including modern upgrades. And so we have the first one is the SX212 Wi-Fi retro modem. Tell us about that, Randy.
Well, I would appreciate it if you took this one, Brad. Do you mind talking about it?
Am looking at it to see the X2 SX212. I am just not reading. I guess I'm used to reading with two eyes and only reading with one.
I can understand that.
You can only read half as fast.
Yes. And the SX212 Wi-Fi retro modem. It replaces the PCB in the existing Atari SX212 modem with a new motherboard, a new board, and it will simulate the auto featured dial tone, the DTMF, digits. It'll ring. It'll act like a 1200 baud connection, and it's based on the ZI modem 4 sources found on GitHub. But it's interesting. I had never heard of this before. The plugs into the SIO, so it's limited to about 1200 baud or so, something like that, but it allows you to you can connect to Wi-Fi and Telnet to BBSs and stuff like that. That's an interesting project. The boards are, for sale, and interesting, cute project.
$99 plus shipping, plus PayPal fee, plus tariff, plus tax and license and dealer prep. Huh. And you need a case. You need an XX212 case to.
I believe this is the second one that was created, because I think there was another, and I can't remember. It was a very well known modem that a lot of people used that was done first, and then now the Atari SX212 has been done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might have mentioned, a long time ago, we might have mentioned someone did this with one of the common Hayes modem, but not Hayes, but one of the USB, the US robotics, I think.
That might be what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems familiar. But neat. I'm glad they did it in a Atari form factor.
Options. Hey, it's always cool to see new projects.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps the hobby alive.
Right. I saw this on Blue Sky, which is not a new project. This was someone's old project. This is called XL Expander, which is a prototype add-on for the Atari 800 XL machines. Atari Scene News posted this. This device was shown at the Taco, Texas Atari 8-bit computer owners meeting. This is called XL Expander, a prototype add-on for the Atari 800 XL machines. And this looks like it plugs into the behind the Atari computer, plugs in through the PBI slot. Is that what it's called? The port back there that no one ever uses. And there's a picture of this thing. It's got a bunch of ports on it, and there's an ad for it. It was sold for $329. It said the XL Expander body unit, constructed of heavy-duty aluminum, comes complete with a built-in power supply, all back panel connectors, and fully assembled main circuit board and one printer interface card with a 64K buffer. The main circuit board simulates the 3 Atari 800 RAM slots and has a 5 combination parallel serial card slots. Plug the XL Expander now for these options and more. There's a list. There's modem interface, printer interface, RGB interface, voice synthesizer, EEPROM programmer, burglar alarm controller, fun, telephone answerer, robot controller, coprocessor for CPM, extended RAM up to 512K, multi-cartridge board, floppy or hard disk controller. So basically, this was like...
It's like the 1090 XL.
The 1090 XL, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, and you could put all these different cards in it, right?
Yeah, exactly like a 1090. Neat. This thing is, I assume, I've never heard of this thing, so super rare, and looks like a lot of fun. Neat. There's some pictures of it on Blue Sky, and there'll be a link to that in the show notes.
All right.
Okay, next is so we've been hearing about this Pixel Perfect motherboard for some time. That Peter Kazarovsky has been working on, and he's created that Pixel Perfect motherboard for the 130XE. He's working on doing a similar thing for some of the other motherboards as well. But he's taken this one a little bit further, and he says the Pixel Perfect for the 130XE will also be offered with a case and a mechanical keyboard as well. So you'll actually be able to get basically a whole machine, or put together a whole machine with this new motherboard and case and keyboard. So that's pretty cool. I think it might have some improvements on it as well from the original board, but it wouldn't be the same as like the C64 Ultimate. It doesn't have all of those sorts of improvements on it. But I think he's thinking about doing something like that. And then there was I came across a 3D printed Atari XL style joystick that somebody made, and you can see the model on Maker World, and it's just cool looking. It's just got that Atari XL style to it with the black and white color.
I'm gonna have to make
Yeah.
one of these. I like that.
There you go. Yeah, let us know if you make one, Brad.
All right.
Love to see it. Then you know you'd have a working joystick at least, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Brad's got a problem with getting working joysticks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a joke in there, but I'm not gonna go for it. Okay.
Yeah, you know. Well, let's not.
Speaking of not working, or sort of, today I was looking in the U.S. Amazon website, or store, and just the Atari 400 Mini is no longer available in the U.S. version in the U.S. Amazon. Who knows? I haven't checked other countries whether that's a thing or not. I suspect it is, but
I called it.
And
I called it, didn't I?
Yep.
Last time we said it was 30% off or something, and I was just like, they're getting rid of inventory.
Yep. So and it's still available at Atari.com, but it's 30% off at Atari.com. So that tells me that they're clearing the stocks. At least,
Maybe that means they're going to come out with a full-size Atari 800 XL version.
Yeah, could be. We'll see. Who knows what the I forget the company that makes them. Makes them for Atari, but I think they're knee deep in
Play
their,
on.
Knee deep in their. Yeah, what's the same well, is it the same company that does the Amiga 500 Mini?
I believe so.
Okay, because they're doing an Amiga 1200, but it's not a Mini.
Right. We mentioned this last episode, because it may have been delayed, or maybe the delay is over now. I want that. I want the non-mini.
Yeah. So
did you pre-order it?
No, I didn't. Should I? Maybe.
I'm gonna wait.
I think it's not due till like mid 2026, is it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, let's look it up. I think it was like March or April or something. Amiga 1200 computer. Let's see. I'm just getting ads for monitors and stuff.
I thought it was June, and I thought
that's
pre-ordering something 6 months ahead was like, I don't know if I want to.
Oh, here it
that.
is. It's called the A1200, or it looks like Thea,
right?
But it's the A. And it says the item will be released June 26th, 2026, $190.
Yeah.
Full-size replica of the Amiga 1200.
Which is not a bad price, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, and but I'm gonna wait because
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on it though, for sure.
Yeah, I'll make the interest on my money, and
yeah. I don't think they charge you till it ships, but it's Amazon. Who knows?
That's true. If you buy it through Amazon, they won't charge you until it ships. That's true. That's true. Here we go for our other section.
Other might be my favorite section. It's the catch-all. It's the potpourri. It's the this didn't fit anywhere else.
It don't fit anywhere else. Yeah.
I saw an eBay item that excited me. Someone was selling the film version of the movie about Atari computer camps called The Magic Room. They had the big film spool for sale. and I have talked about the Magic Room. I've interviewed people who were in the Magic Room. It is a beautiful movie about being in the Atari summer camps. It was kind of a promotional thing made by Atari. There were 3 versions. There was the short trailer version, like, I don't know, 7 minutes, and then there were 2 longer versions. And I am unclear actually which version this is, whether it was don't quote me here. There was like a 25-minute version and like a 40-minute version, something like that. I suppose this is the shorter version because it's on one reel, but I don't know much about film. Anyway, it was for sale on eBay. Just for giggles, I put a bid on it, a low bid, which did not win. It ended up selling for $633 for this film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who wanted it so bad?
I don't know. And of course, it's impossible to know. If you're listening to this podcast and you want to out yourself, then certainly let us know. I hope it ended up in a museum or something. If I won it, I would have given it to the Strong Museum. The reason that I personally didn't go crazy trying to get this, besides the fact that I didn't want to spend $633, was that this film, in my opinion, has been digitized well enough. There are very good digitization versions of both full-length versions of the film. One of them I had digitized myself from U-matic tape, so very high quality. You could see the foam grain on it. And then the other version someone else did years ago, and it looks great. So the only reason I would have wanted this would be to digitize it, then give it to a museum. And so I didn't, anyway. But $633 for this Atari film, and I'm curious to know who purchased it. The other thing, an update on the Atari Hotel, which we have mentioned before. I think pre-COVID, we had talked about they were talking about making an Atari branded hotel, and COVID happened, and launching hotels is tricky and whatever. But it seems the idea seems to be back. I saw this article in many places. I chose one at people.com. It says a playable Atari-themed hotel is coming. A 20,000 square foot hotel with a venue with a 2,000-person concert hall and event center. An esports venue with a 10,000 square foot sports book. Restaurants and retail spaces. Multiple immersive environments that merge gaming, music, and nightlife. An oversized pool designed for high energy parties and gatherings, and a hotel. The officials with the project also said the hotel's design will incorporate subtle references to classic video games like Asteroids, Pong, and Tetris. As for hotel rooms, officials say there will be 19 suites and 72 rooms, a reference to the 1972, the year the video game Atari was founded. Officials with the hotel have licensed the use of Atari name. This is not Atari, the company that calls itself Atari, doing this. This is just a licensing deal with someone else. And the concept drawings are pretty, and it looks like it will be a migraine in hotel form. It's just very, very bright, very smushy, very, very. I'm totally gonna. I'll be there. I will.
Yeah, gotta at least check it out, right?
Yeah, check it out. Yep. So I think we should record a podcast episode from there as soon as it opens.
We should.
Okay.
We should.
All right.
Let's do that.
Oh, I didn't. I don't think I said the city. I'm sorry. I don't think I said it. Phoenix, Arizona. So let's pop out to Phoenix when it's built. We will check it out. We will do a podcast from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the calendar.
The date.
Yeah, and slated to begin construction next year, which would be 2026. And 3 year? What do you guess? 3 year build time?
Sure. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen hotels in Vegas be built in 2 weeks, so it's hard to know.
That's true too. But And I have no idea how fast Phoenix, so,
Right.
but yeah. All right. Yeah.
And finally, I wanted to mention that host of the Computer Chronicles, a show that many of us have enjoyed and watched, host Stuart Chaffee. He died. He was 87 years old. He died in Philadelphia, or he was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he died on December 28th, 2025. Yeah, he was born in Philadelphia in 1938, and he is best known for producing and hosting the nationally broadcast PBS television program Computer Chronicles and Net Cafe. Computer Chronicles aired from 1984 to 2002, producing more than 400 episodes that documented the rise of the personal computer from its earliest days. Net Cafe, which aired from 1996 to 2002, explored the emergence of the internet. Both programs were widely regarded as visionary, capturing the evolution of personal computing and the early development of the digital age.
Yeah, I was really sad to hear this. I had the honor of interviewing him for Floppy Days for an episode and got him to come out to Tindy Assembly one year and met him in person. Just a great guy and did a lot of great work, and a lot of people remember Computer Chronicles.
Sure.
And luckily, all of the shows are archived on archive.org. I know that some of the work that he did was to make sure they all got archived.
Yes, he worked with Internet Archive to make sure that everything was archived.
Yeah.
I believe, and I don't know the full story or how accurate this is, but I believe that relatively recently, a bunch of more episodes had been found that had never been digitized before, and were either were added or are going to be added. And they don't really know the whole story, but there's a whole collection of Computer Chronicles, 634 episodes or results there. I don't know if that's, how we got that number, but yeah, there's a lot of Computer Chronicles there, a lot of Stuart Chaffee's hard work.
Yeah, it's just such a good show.
Yeah.
And there were a few that were Atari related.
There were.
You
There
can
were
you can
There's a
find
couple.
those.
Yeah. And the ones on archive are digitized from U-matic, so they look crispy. They look great, way better than something just VHS tapes or something.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we have some upcoming computer shows.
Yay.
And
I think we should just talk about the ones through May because there's so many here.
Yeah. Okay.
all right, if you say so, you're in charge. Sorry. I'm just poking at Randy.
I know.
All right. Vintage Computer Festival Montreal is our first one. It is January 24 and 25 at the in Quebec. That's where Montreal is, last time I checked.
That's in Canada.
Yes, I believe so. Unless it's moved. It's still there. And I don't take, actually, I shouldn't really joke because I don't take anything for anymore. So,
then we have the Vintage Electronic Expo, which is January 31st at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford, MI, Michigan, not Minnesota. All right, Michigan.
I've never heard of this one.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
easy.
There's Vintage Computer Festival SoCal, which I think this is like the fourth iteration now of it, or third or fourth. I went in 2022, 2023. It'll be February 14th to 15th at the Hotel Farah Event Center in Orange, California. You can see people like Jason Moore that we talked about. Joe DeCure was at the one that I was at because it's out in his area. So you might see Joe there. So, if you can get there, you should try to go. And this next one is also in my neck of the woods, the Indy Classic Computer and Video Game Expo, March 20th through the 22nd. So it's earlier this year at the Wyndham Indianapolis Airport in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Then VCF East will be April 17th through 19th at the InfoAge Science and History Museums in Wall, New Jersey. I just bought my ticket or my hotel reservation. I will be there. I will be there the 18th and the 19th, not the 17th.
I'm still trying to clarify whether I can get there or not, but I hope so. I hope to be there.
Excellent.
Midwest Gaming Classic is April 24, 25, and 26 in the Baird Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
VCF Europe is May 1st through 2nd in Munich, Germany.
And the Vintage Computer Festival Pacific Northwest 2026 will be May 2nd to 3rd at the Tukwila Community Center in South Tukwila, Washington. This is the one put on by that group I mentioned before, the SDF Interim Computer, SDF.org Interim Computer Museum people. It's a drive. It's a 3-hour drive for me, so I might we'll see how it goes, but I'm planning on driving up. I'd like to see that. Sounds like fun.
All right, and finally, no, not finally. There's next the penultimate for this list is VCF Southwest, May 29 through 31 at the Westin Dallas in Fort Worth. It's at the Fort Worth Airport.
And finally, if you're in the UK or can get over there, Retrofest 2026, May 30th through 31st at the Steam Museum of the Great Western Railway in Swindon, UK. I'd love to be able to get to that.
Yeah, me too. Just trains, and that's old computers and old trains,
Is that STEAM as in STEAM Museum or STEAM as in Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math?
Yeah.
Is STEAM, you mean STEAM trains or STEAM?
Trains.
Train, okay.
Yeah, it's let's find out. Because I'm pretty sure I looked last time, and it's because it's the Museum of the Great Western Railway, which is my giveaway that
right.
It's got to do with trains, yeah,
and it has to do with trains.
Nothing to do with science or technology.
Yeah, we don't, trains. Yes, it's trains.
Did you make up that acronym?
No.
Okay, or is that a real thing?
That's a real thing. You've heard of STEM, right?
Yeah,
science.
I have heard of STEM.
Well, some people say STEAM because you're adding arts into it. So it's a, I don't know, maybe it's a Oregon thing.
And okay, we don't want any art in our anyway.
No art in our science.
Yes. They, mutually exclusive. Oil and water.
We don't need no stinking arts. What are you talking about?
Okay. And the strange places we go on these podcasts. All right. Speaking of strange places, there's YouTube.
Oh, your transitions are getting good.
It certainly can be strange. You've seen some of the videos out there.
Yeah.
All right. So I found a few that I thought were interesting. Fujinet Battleship, now available for the Atari 8-bit, Apple II, Coco, and MS-DOS platforms. Tom Cherryholmes created a nice video showing all of this in action. So go find an Apple II person to beat up on for Fujinet Battleship and play over Fujinet.
Mm-hmm. I have played it. It is fun. I mean, I've only played it against the AI, but the AI is vicious, man.
Is it? Came across an interesting video. Sideburn Studios produced how I made an Atari 130XE laptop using original hardware. So this guy had created one before, but this is a later version of what he has done. He 3D printed. He got a large enough 3D printer that he could print the entire laptop case without having to split it in halves. So he made some other improvements to the hinge mechanism and so on. But It's got a built-in screen and it's a portable 130XE and kind of cool. Take a look at and be a fun project. There is a video that John Zilke of the Atari Basics created. He calls it the Atari 8-bit second maturity, where he talks about um, unfinished Atari hardware brought back to life. Some of the modern video and audio upgrades has been created for the Atari 8-bit. Fujinet, the steady stream of new software coming out. So it touches a lot on like the current state of the Atari 8-bit line and all the things, all the really cool things that are available for it. So he did use AI to help create this thing, but I think it was well done. And finally, I came across a video from Greg Gallardo, Fujinet Retromate, online chess with Atari 8-bit computers. So he's been using Fujinet, and there already was a project called Retromate, which was a front end for modern and retro computers that lets Apple II, Commodore 64, Atari XL, and so on with the right hardware connect to the free internet chess server at freechess.org. He's updated the Atari XL client to work with Fujinet. So you don't have to have that other special hardware. And so you can play chess over the internet with other platforms on your Atari 8-bit. He says he's also going to work on the Apple II and Commodore 64 versions soon. So there you go. Pretty cool. That's it for YouTube videos.
Very nice. Well, I looked around Internet Archive, and this was not sometimes this was not me being lazy and going, oh, I didn't have time to look. I looked. Nobody added any good Atari stuff to Internet Archive this month.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody went.
Off.
But yeah, everyone was off doing holiday things and playing with their full-size Commodore 64 replicas. I don't know, but no Atari things.
So is there anything interesting at GitHub?
There was. I did find some interesting things at GitHub. Moswald has been working on some Fujinet-related things and posting the code to GitHub. And I don't think these are standalone. I don't think these are standalone things that you can play with yet. But unless you're, I don't know, like you could, unless you want to talk to Moswald and figure out what he's doing. But they were on GitHub and they were intriguing. One is called PokeSteam. PokeSteam is a small Atari-only library for raw Poke serial. Let me try again. Raw Poke serial streaming that targets the Fujinet UDP stream / MIDI maze style communication. It configures Poke with the MIDI maze timing and hooks the operating system serial vectors for IRQ-driven RX/TX. What does that mean? I don't know. Is it intriguing? Yes. Are we?
I'm sure it's cool.
Is it? Are we doing communications, MIDI maze style communications somehow involving Pokey? I don't know. Sounds like fun. And the other one, also from Moz, is called UDP Pokey Sample, attempting to use direct calls to Pokey on Atari 8-bit to send data over UDP with Fujinet UDP stream mode. The Atari client configures Pokey for MIDI maze style serial timing, hooks the OS serial vectors for interrupt-driven RX and TX, and sends a fixed test string after the user presses enter. I don't know. Yeah, are we sending music sounds over? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm here to make you feel interested and check out the project and talk to Moswald about it. There's something called Atari Forge, which there's hardly anything there. This is something someone named Rick Collette has posted it. The Forge language and ecosystem for Atari 8-bit computers. And there's hardly anything there. And I don't know what the Forge language is, but I looked it up, and and it could be, I mean, the AI is giving me like, oh, I don't know, it could be a bunch of things. And there's a language learning app called Forge, and there's a language tool teaching. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but maybe you do. You can let me know why Atari people need Forge. There is something called ATASCOIID, a taskoid. Oh, this was cool. All right, this is neat. Not fooling around. I watched the YouTube video about this, uh, which I'll put a link to that. 1K a taskoid is one of the smallest breakout style games ever made for the Atari 8-bit family. Just 998 bytes. It's about as much as 10 lines of text in a Word document. But don't let the size fool you. Packed into this tiny game are 32 levels with 120 on-screen colors and made entirely from ATASCII graphics, making it possibly the most colorful breakout clone on any 8-bit machines. You can play it solo or with a friend. You need a joystick. Although I haven't played it, I have watched the 4-minute YouTube video of it, and it's really quite impressive looking. I mean, it's just like you'd be like, this was made with less than 1K. It looks like a fun little breakout game. Anyway, so that's the code for that. All 998 bytes of it is available on GitHub. You should check that out. And finally, another thing, I don't know what it is. GitHub tends to confuse me quite a lot. Something called Rachel Atari 800, a render-only client for the Rachel card game written in 6502 assembly for the Atari 400, 800 XL, and XE. It says includes some FujiNet. And so this is posted by an account called Rachel Multiverse. It is a card game, says one card game for every platform ever made. We're implementing the Rachel card game on every computing platform that exists, from the Fairchild Channel F 1976 to modern quantum computers. If it can compute, it must run Rachel. And sure enough, that's why I found the Atari thing, because they also have GitHub repositories for ColecoVision and Intellivision and ZX Spectrum and MSX and DOS and Commodore 64 and Game Boy. So I don't know if this card game better be fun if you're gonna if you're gonna be able to play it for every computer ever made.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Okay. Well, I guess it's that time again. It's time for listener feedback.
Yay.
Randy, you want to take the first one?
Yeah, so this is the one Katie forwarded to me. Apparently, Kevin Packard sent this to you, even though it was meant for me. I'm not sure exactly why, but Kevin Packard goes by the AtariAge handle KPack. And in the last episode, I had talked about the electric typewriter that I had gotten that has a serial port on it, and that I was planning on hooking my Atari up to it to use it as a printer, basically. And I've got a module that will allow me to do that. So he sent an email saying he did some work getting an Atari to 850 to serial dot matrix printer, which is basically what this electric typewriter ends up being, working back in 1988. He found the PDF file he submitted to the Western New York Atari Users Group newsletter that might give you a means to an end. I can remember getting the cord wired was a bit frustrating until it started working. There's not much more I can remember that isn't in the file. Mention it in the podcast if you ever get something to print out. Well, I haven't actually got anything to print out yet, but I'm mentioning your letter anyway, Kevin. It is helpful. The article was kind of cool because it talked about how you can redirect the P device in the Atari to go out the serial port on the 850 interface, and so that anything that's written to use the P device, it'll just go ahead and ship it out to your printer. So I'm going to give that a try. I think that is very helpful, and I really appreciate Kevin's sending this information in. Might just be what I need. I'll report back if I get it working.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay. Paulo Garcia writes, "Hey guys, thanks for the great episode." You're welcome, Paulo. We did it just for you.
Mm-hmm.
And here's
Paulo's
another
the Fujisan guy that we were talking about earlier.
And although I haven't used it at all, and he includes a GitHub link to the 8-bit workshop MCP, is to enable AI to control the emulator. MCP, or Model Context Protocol, is an open protocol that AI tools like Claude Code, Carcer, Codex, etc., can use to talk to external sources. It is funny because Fujisan will have something similar. I have created the TCP server in it to basically allow remote control, which can include AI tools. For that, the missing piece is an MCP server that makes the interface. Is this kind of like, is this, and that's, thank you for the email, Paulo.
I think we were asking about this last episode.
We didn't know what this was.
This is one of the things I found on GitHub, and I just did my usual,
Right.
I don't know what this is. Somebody explain it to me.
Yeah.
And here comes Paulo trying to explain it to me. I still don't think I understand it, but
kind of like Rex support and AREX support in some applications. Like AREX was popular with the Amiga. Rex was an IBM. I think IBM created it. I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, is it kind of sort of like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's just a software interface that allows you to control that software. So
And,
basically, I think this is similar to like using VS Code. You know how it can. We talked about how you can then invoke an emulator out of VS Code, and I think it uses something like this. As long as the emulator has, an interface like this.
yeah. Or I would say, is it like PowerShell for Windows and Linux now and Mac? But I think that would be different anyway, because I'm not a programmer, so this stuff is really Greek to me. Okay. So, okay. And I guess it's that time. We always do the end of show. Please provide feedback requests. So here we go. It's the time for us to request your feedback like we just had. And so you can tell us about MCP and all that. Because we
MCP
do
is the master control program in Tron. That's what I know.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
And which is anyway, and anyway, please provide feedback.
We've befuddled.
Yeah,
Brad.
It's not hard right now. Well, it's never been hard, but we do love hearing about your memories of the Atari 8-bits. We're very interested to hear about if you have a project of any type, hardware, software, whatever. And
personally, just working on yourself,
yeah. And okay, I don't want to know that.
Don't even touch that one, Brad.
Yeah. So if you're doing something, creating software, hardware, whatever, let us know about it, and share. There's many ways you can contact us. You can contact us via email at ANTIC@AtariPodcast.com. And Randy's going to tell us about Blue Sky.
Sure. So our handle there is at AtariPodcast at bsky.social.
And our website with show notes and all the links we've talked about is at www.podcast.com. which means I've left Kay with the Facebook page.
Yay.
His favorite.
Here's what you do. You go to your phone, you find the Facebook app, you delete it. And then you go to Blue Sky and you enjoy us there. The end.
And so, all right, we have a Discord server, and that link is in the show notes. And you can stream us from the usual suspects, and then hey, listen to us. Take us on the run when you go out and run, or your drive or whatever. So anyway, thank you for listening to us again.
Thank you for podcasting with me, you guys, for discussing the true computer of love, Atari 8-bits.
The romantic computer.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, yeah. I was going to try to work on my...
And definitely thank you to anyone who managed to get all the way through this.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
See ya.
See ya. Bye. That ended on a weird note, but okay.
Yeah. Hey, so what else is new when Brad's in charge?